Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to some EVE Online. In today's video I want to give you guys a quick recap of our stay in Khanid Kingdom. We stayed there for about 9 days in total. Now I must say that although this is the result from that stay, I did not play for the entire 9 days. I would say between 3 and 4 days after work is what I spent to gather this amount of loot in exploration, but also in missions. So this is not like the results as you can expect if you actively play EVE Online during the entire week, for instance. But with the launch of the Landmark Beta and the Diablo expansion, I did put quite some time, especially during the weekend, in those two games. And all I really managed was like 3 to 4 evenings of EVE Online here in Khanid space. Still, the result is 133 million ISK, so it's not that bad, but I must be honest, overall it's not such a great space to make money. In my opinion, especially the exploration part. I did get this here, Dark Blood Reactor Control Unit. That's not bad, almost 13 million. And this one makes up for a lot as well. Dark Blood Energized Adaptive Nano, 65 million. Something like that. I got a few other faction drops, but none of them are really worth that much. 7 million for these two armor plates. And then I also had an implant. And a couple of these crystals. That's really the faction stuff. All of this comes from blood vigils and their escalation, so I did get decently lucky with that. Almost every blood vigil that I found and did got me an escalation, so I could do another 4 sites in high sec, ending up with sometimes these decent to really good faction pieces. But exploration here in the Khanid space is not great. I found no 4 out of 10s. From the Blood Raiders, data sites were extremely scarce. All we really found was a lot of wormholes, relic sites, and that's pretty much it. We had to go very far and be very lucky to find something like a Blood Vigil or the equivalent 3 out of 10 out here in Khanid space. So it looks like, although there are fewer people here in Khanid space, there are either some very active explorers that are really staying on top of all the sites that spawn. Another possibility is that there could be like more Ammar systems or fewer people actively playing in the Ammar systems. And since your respawn rates do depend on the speed at which people are doing sites somewhere else, that could also be the reason why you're seeing less good exploration sites in Khanid space than what we're used to, even in very crowded systems like the Galente system. So yeah, for exploration, this was not a very good experience, honestly. It's just a little bit of luck with the escalations that still managed to get me the loot that I got, but I would not recommend it. In fact, Katsuko, like halfway the week, said that whenever he was on alone, he felt like he was just wasting his time doing exploration here. So he went back to Yona, and the very first 2 things that he found were a data site and a Serpentis Fire outpost. So there is definitely a noticeable difference. Of course, only exploration doesn't explain all of the loot you're seeing here. So we also did some missions during our stay. It was actually one of the reasons why we moved here is my brother wanted to see what kind of effort it would take to try and earn some of the Khanid faction modules that are sold here in the loyalty point stores. The other guys came here, we upped their reputation with the Khanid innovation a little bit, and now Arvales can also take level 3 combat missions, for instance. So it was a little bit of a test in that regard as well. We did a good amount of level 3 and level 4 missions. Of course, we were not in very good ships for that. Most of us were in either a Drake or exploration cruisers. And so the level 4 missions ended up being decently entertaining and somewhat challenging if you have to do that with 3 cruisers. That's not that easy to manage either. And what we noticed here is that you can actually do a decent amount of missions here against Sancha and against Blood Raiders and some pirate factions like that, which seem to yield very good salvage. That's one thing that everyone has found when we would loot and salvage the missions. the salvage was really exceptional compared to what we're used to in Gallente space or from Gallente missions. So in that regards, I would say that Khanid space has definitely beat the average we're used to on the salvaged. We had a lot of stuff like melted let me see here, burnt logic circuits, armor plates, you know, some of those decent tripped power circuits, some of those decent salvage components. We did get way more of those than what we would expect from level 3, level 4 missions, and even exploration combat sites or small anomalies as well. In all of those we did feel that the yield for salvaging was quite a lot better. It could be something well, that's just a part of the Blood Raider sites or here in Amar space, or it could be that we were very lucky. We're not entirely sure, but everyone across the board did notice this trend that the salvage was doing very well for us. Other than that, that was really our week here. We did some missions together, we tried some exploration. That was more of a solo activity, but it turned out that that was not really worth it, and I did end up with something like 133 million ISK in loot, which is okay for 3 to 4 evenings, but I do feel that I would have done a lot better in those 3 days somewhere in either Solitude or in Gallente space. And we upped the standings from a few of our guides towards being able to take level 3 security missions here as well. But we did not actually reach some of those very expensive loyalty point modules that we are looking for longer term. Maybe if we get like a good command ship or something like that, it might be worth to invest in those, and we might be coming back for that. But it was a very good learning experience, and overall for Khanid space, if I had to put it in just a few words, very good for missions, not so great for exploration. So yeah, that was basically our week in Khanid space. Now before I finish the video, maybe a quick word. Some of you or most of you might notice that the videos are a little bit shorter, and I'm not hunting so much for all of the exciting EVE Online content at the moment. I'm also a little bit less responsive on the comments and the mails that you guys sent me. That's not because I don't want to or because I'm bored or anything like that. It's just that I do have a full-time job which I have to do to pay the bills, and unfortunately at the moment we are really in crunch time there for a special project that I have to work on, and it's going to be like that for at least the rest of the month, and that means I have to do overtime almost every single day. That really does sap a lot of my energy. I come home very tired, and so all I can really manage is maybe quick update videos on what we've been doing over the last few days with some stock footage, or during the weekend I try to make a few videos about the other games in advance so that I can have some quieter evenings. But yeah, at the end of April that should all be over, and I should be back a little bit with a little bit more energy in the videos as well, just in time for FanFest and all those announcements. So that's the reason. It's definitely not that I'm ignoring you guys or that I'm being bored with making the videos. I still enjoy it quite a lot. In fact, my goal is to still maintain that 1 video a week so I can stay in routine, stay motivated to really keep going. And once I have a little bit more time again to really put in the effort and bring you guys some nice EVE Online content, because I do want to play more, and I want to make great videos. I also want to do a few more roams with the guys as well and stuff like that. But at the moment I just don't have the energy because of my job. So unfortunately that's just part of life, and it's going to be like that for at least the rest of the month. So yeah, I just thought I'd quickly mention this for you guys. You might hear it a few more times in the next weeks as well, when I feel really tired once again and all I manage to do is a quick update video like this. It's not like there's any problems or anything like that. It's just I get an enormous amount on my plate at the moment. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.